We've also gotten some questions. Oh, right now, our current podcast that's being aired is
Eldon Ross, that's right. So we're about to, this is Sunday night right now, so overnight tonight, episode 2 of Eldon Ross's series will be...
Two of three.
Will be dropping, and in this portion of the series, he starts getting into the actual combat that he sees when he's over there driving a half-track during the Battle of the Bulge in December and January and February of 1944. So pretty interesting stuff. And then, obviously his last episode will hit a week from tonight, and that'll be covering his exploits as he actually attends the Nuremberg trials at the end of the war and gets to see some of the Nazis that were tried as war criminals in person.
Yeah, and in addition to that, we said we're going to use these video updates to answer any questions we get on our Facebook site, and we've received some. From our previous podcast. Obviously, you can't ask questions that one that haven't been published yet. So at any rate, question number 1, actually questions and corrections, and this is a correction. I stated in the Harvey Hunt series, I think it was episode 2, that the BAR, the Browning Automatic Rifle, which if you watch the podcast, you'll learn was something that was really popular amongst the Marines because the amount of firepower it brought to bear. That it was introduced prior to World War II. It was not. It was introduced prior to World War I, or towards the end of World War I, actually, by John Moses Browning. It was in the interwar years. It wasn't just something that was available right before the war. It was available before that. Troops were being trained on it.
Yeah.
Another question that we received had to do with Alan Sr.'s B-24. That was our first series, our pilot series. And the B-24 that he flew in towards the end of World War II in the European theater was named the Bachelor's Delight. And we have a picture of it on our Facebook site. If you go to his collection of videos, you can see the picture of the Bachelor's Delight. The question we got was, what plant was it produced in? Because these B-24s were produced in Willow Run in Detroit from Consolidated Manufacturing or Consolidated Aircraft Company. They were also made in Topeka, Kansas, in California, and in Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Yep.
And since we have so many fans from the Mid-Continent area who understand history, they wanted to know, did this plane come from the Tulsa plant? And here's my answer. I have no clue.
Yeah, I don't know how we would know, because Alan actually flew in several different planes during his time in the service. A lot of these guys weren't in one plane for all of their missions. It depended on what, hey, if they were on a mission and they're in Bachelor's Delight and they took an engine hit and they came back, they would pull them out of that plane would go off to get serviced. They had missions the next day a lot of times, and they would put them in a reserve airplane. So I don't know how we would find that information, to be honest with you, because they weren't officially named on a record.
No.
They were just serial numbered.
But I was hoping to get it from the tail number.
The tail number would be the way to do it.
But I don't have the tail number. The only picture I have of the Bachelor's Delight is of him standing by the nose, and then an artist rendering of the Bachelor Delight using the markings that his bomb group used. I don't have the tail number. If I did, I might be able to.
Yeah.
But like Ryan said, even if I could determine where that one was made, he wasn't always in the Bachelor's Delight. These guys would kind of flip him around. So don't know.
Yeah, another question we had was pertaining to how they would classify men whenever they'd come in for basic training, whether they were classified as 1A or 4F. And I don't know if there were grades in between, maybe depending on their eyesight and things like that. But 1A is the most fit you can be to be accepted into the military. In other words, there are no reservations physically about the man, and he can go in and he has a clean bill of health to move forward to be trained and to be a soldier. 4F means you're not fit for military service and you're usually declined, and you go on and you do other roles. Maybe you work in civilian industry, or you work in air raid warden, things like that, and you do other things for the war effort.
I always thought 4F was kind of harsh. I mean, an F already means fail, right? If you get an F on your paper. I mean, with 4 Fs, you get 4 of them. I mean, not only do you try to join the war effort to be a strong young man that's going to go participate in World War II, you don't just fail, you get 4 failed. I mean, no wonder why people had
1A and 4 Fs.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there's no 4A, but there's a 4F. I don't get that part. But that's the nomenclature that they use.
Yeah, for sure.